Hey guys, and welcome to the No Hands Proxies introduction video. In this video I'm going to be going through all the different controls of No Hands Proxies, showing you briefly how you can use it to get different types of proxies and how to output them to either a file or to set them in Windows. Okay, so it's really easy and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So I'm going to start off by getting No Hands Proxies up. So this is what you'll see when you first load it. You have the start and stop button here. You start harvesting the proxies by clicking the start button, and you stop harvesting them by pressing the stop button. Now when a proxy is found and it is checked to be working, it is added to this list here. Okay, now proxies that are waiting to be checked go into this list here. Okay, now here we have a set random Windows proxy button. What that will do is when you press that, it will choose a proxy at random from the list, and it will set it in Windows for use in tools such as SE-Nuke uses Windows proxies, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Opera, I do believe Safari as well, and a bunch of other tools will adhere to the Windows proxy. You can also set this by holding down Control, Alt and P at the same time, and you can do that at any time whether No Hands Proxies is in focus or not. So say you're in Chrome or Internet Explorer browsing a website and you want to quickly change your IP address, all you have to do is hold down Control, Alt and press P, and then you'll see in the bottom right hand corner of the screen it will pop up telling you what IP address you're now using, and it's as simple as that. Now the other side of the form here we have remove Windows proxy. Clicking that will just remove that proxy, so you'll then be using your base IP address. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm going to show you how you set it up with different tools. Now a lot of other proxy harvesters have lots of options and things like that. Now No Hands Proxies absolutely does have that, but one thing that sets it apart from the others is that to set it up with your say popular backlinking tools, or say you want specific types of proxies, all you need to do is click one of these buttons. So say you wanted Google searching proxies and posting proxies output to separate files for use in No Hands SEO, all you'd need to do is click on No Hands SEO. Now I'm not going to click on any of those for now because I'm going to show you the advanced settings. Now if you're wanting to use the proxies in No Hands SEO, GSA Search Engine Ranker, Scrapebox, GScraper, or any tool which can use for example Google proxies or posting proxies, or you need elite proxies, all you need to do is click on whichever tool you're going to be using. So for example I will show you No Hands SEO, but first I'm going to go through the different settings just to show you what clicking on those buttons does. Okay, so this is a warning saying basically that ideally you should be using these buttons and not the advanced settings. Now I've provided support for a lot of users that have gone in and they think that they need to touch different settings or change this or that. That's not necessary. If you're wanting to use No Hands SEO, click that button. Don't do anything else. You don't need to do anything else. That will set up everything for you. If you're using GSA SER, just click that button. Don't touch anything else, just click that button and then press the start button. That's all you need to do. The same goes for Scrapebox or GScraper. And also, if all you want is Google proxies, say you're using a scraping tool that isn't listed in the popular software, just click Get Google Proxies and it will tell you where it's outputting those Google proxies to, and then you can just load that into your tool and go from there. The same goes for posting proxies or Yahoo proxies or Bing proxies or elite proxies. You can click all of them if you want all of those, but obviously then No Hands Proxies will have to be be checking every proxy for Google, for Yahoo, for Bing. So only click on the button that you want and no more. There's nothing else necessary. Okay, but I'm going to unlock the advanced settings just to show you what these buttons do. Okay, so in your app settings you've got the different limits and things like that that really I would never use. I would never advise anybody use any of these limiting settings. There may be some fringe niche cases where people need to use those and they have been added by request, but I've never seen anybody use them to benefit, it's always been a detriment, so I would advise you stay away from those. The random proxy settings, this is the sort of thing that if you know you need to use them, use them. If you're not sure what they are, steer clear of them. You don't need to know what they are unless you know exactly what they are. Okay, the same goes for a lot of these settings really. The only one that may be of interest really is the worker threads. If you want to increase how quickly No Hands Proxies can search and check proxies, you can increase or decrease this setting. There is also a built-in thread tester. I'm actually uploading things at the minute, so my connection won't be as fast as it normally would be, but clicking on test for max thread settings will load up this thread tester, and what it will do is it will go through and test different amounts of threads over and over and over until it finds the upper level, the maximum number of threads that you can ideally run with. Okay, so I'm going to abort that because there's no need for this test. For this demonstration, I'm purely going to be using the default setting of 35 threads because I find that even on faster connections 35 threads tends to be a relatively sweet spot, so I'm just going to leave it there. Now in output proxies you'll see that there's no output jobs here. You can set No Hands Proxies to output proxies of different varying anonymities, whether they pass different websites or not, to a specific file. You can also send to an email, or to multiple emails actually, or to an FTP address. Now you can set as many of these jobs as you want. There's no limit, but I'm not going to add any manually because all of that will be handled by these options here. So I'm merely showing you these just so that you know that they are there if in future you ever need to use them. But if all you're wanting to do is load the proxies into one of these tools, or say all you need is a bunch of Yahoo proxies, then all you're going to want to do is just click that Get Yahoo Proxies button and nothing else. You don't need to worry about anything else. Everything will be handled for you. Okay, and in the proxy testing settings here you can see that it's easy to check against any particular website in the list. You can also add in any website you want, but again, if your use case is in here, just click on that. Don't worry about anything else, it's all handled for you. Okay, you can set the minimum anonymity, but I would never do that because all you're doing is limiting the number of proxies that you're going to get. So I would never advise limiting the minimum anonymity, because ultimately you can set it in the output proxies here anyway. Okay, you don't need to limit the proxies that are being harvested by that. All you're going to do is you're going to limit the number of proxies that are in the list, which actually also limits the amount of proxies that you can find. So by limiting to anonymous, you're also going to be limiting everything else. So again, no need to touch that. Doesn't need to be changed at all. Region filtering, here you can limit to Fiji if you wanted, or let's say Israel proxies. But again, if what you're wanting to do is in these use cases, just click on that button once. Don't worry about region filtering or port filtering or any of that. The option's there if you absolutely need it. Say you need Albanian proxies to log into an Albanian website that only allows people to log in from that country. In that case, use it, yes. If you're just using the proxies for searching in Google or any other search engine, or posting to normal websites, it doesn't matter what region proxy you're using. Okay, so the huge majority of users will never need to limit by region, nor will you need to limit by port. And also the initial proxy sources, this is what is used initially to find proxies to check. Sorry, when you first start running, the initial proxy sources is what is used to find proxies. When you've already searched all of those proxy sources for all of the proxies and you've checked them, then No Hands Proxies will go off and search in the search engines for new proxies Okay, new proxies and new proxy sources. So this is only used at first, or if no other proxy sources can be harvested from the search engines. Okay, so you can replace this list or you can add to this list, but for the huge majority of users I would never advise this, because most people go online, they find a big list of proxy sources and think that, oh, this is great, I've found a list of 10,000 sources or whatever. They put it in and then they realize that it's 10,000 old junk sources. Most of them don't have any proxies. The ones that do have proxies, the proxies are outdated. The proxy sources that are built into No Hands Proxies are checked regularly. They are always up to date, they're always fresh, there's no problems with them, so I would never advise adding your own proxy sources. Okay, I just wouldn't. So now I've explained the settings that are in there, I'm going to show you why you should never need to touch any of those. Okay, now my example was going to be No Hands SEO. So in No Hands SEO you can have one set of proxies for harvesting and one set of proxies for posting. Okay, so I'm going to click that button just once, and now you see straight away it says all output options for No Hands SEO have been set up for you. You do not need to set up anything further to have No Hands Proxies run perfectly. Okay, it's strongly advised not to go to the advanced settings, as any further changes to the settings will be unnecessary and likely will result in fewer usable proxies. Now you can see here it says the Google proxies have been sent to the My Documents folder and Google proxies.txt, and the posting proxies will be sent to My Documents folder, posting proxies.txt. Okay, now just to show you what has happened here, there's been no change to that. You see it's set up my two output jobs. It's getting me the correct type of Google proxies to the Google proxies file and the correct type of posting proxies to the posting proxies file. Now you can also see that it has set to check against Google automatically, and no other setting has been checked. Okay, now I don't even need to click the save settings, but I'm going to do it because I'm a little bit OCD. So you can see in the log here it's already tried outputting the proxies, but obviously there's no proxies to have been had yet. Now I'm still uploading a video, so my internet connection is being used up quite a lot. So what I'm going to do is I will just hit the start and we will see just how it works. Okay, so I'm going to hit the start button and straight away you should see it go off scraping for new proxies, and when it's scraped from all the different proxy sources you'll see it will start checking those proxies. You see it's already found 2,000 awaiting proxies, 4,000 now, and you can see in the awaiting proxies tab there is a huge amount of proxies in there. Okay, in the log it's still scraping. Now it's started checking the proxies, it's found a bunch of working proxies and it's weeding out the bad ones from the good, and it's putting the working proxies into the working proxies list. Now in here you can see where the proxies have come from. You can see when they were checked, the region of the proxy. So if you were using that proxy for instance and you were on a website, it would assume that you were from Croatia. Okay, now you may think if you post into American sites with say No Hands SEO that you needed American proxies. That is not the case. You just need anonymous or elite proxies for posting and transparent proxies that work for Google for searching in Google. It doesn't matter where the proxies are from for searching or for posting with a tool like No Hands SEO for GSA, SER. It doesn't matter where they are for using GScraper or Scrapebox or pretty much any other posting or harvesting tool that I've ever come across. Okay, so don't worry if they're not all from your region. Obviously there's a lot of different regions in the world, so they are going to be well spread out. There's also the latency here. This is the speed. All the ones in green are very fast. Ignore that. All the ones in the dark green are very fast, all the ones in light green are fast, all the ones in amber are sort of middling but still usable. The ones in red will be the slow ones, but it's already set up to ignore slow proxies by default. It also lists the transparency, the anonymity, so it shows whether they're transparent, elite, or anonymous, and also the proxy type. Now this column here with the ticks and the crosses, that shows you which proxies have passed the website checks. So in this case, the only website that is listed, because all we're interested in is Google proxies and posting proxies, so it's just checking against Google, there is a tick there, tick there, tick there, tick there, and so on. Now that will continue going for as long as you leave it. It will continue checking the proxies. See, there's 10,000 proxies waiting to be checked, and there's currently 106 working proxies. That's going to keep going. It's going to keep going and going and going. It's going to be checking the working proxies against Google, and then what will happen is every single minute it will take a snapshot of the list of proxies. It will send the Google Pass proxies to the Google Proxies.txt file, and it will send all of the anonymous and elite proxies to the posting proxies file. Okay, now this will continue on and on for as long as you leave it. It will recheck those proxies to make sure that they're still working, because obviously with them being public proxies, they're not going to be alive forever. Okay, so with the way it works, you're always going to have a fresh list of proxies. Okay, right, so I'm going to leave this running for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to come back to it and show you the list of proxies from the Google Proxies file and the posting proxies file. Okay. Okay, so we've been running for around 10 minutes now, and you can see that it's checking all these proxies and it's weeding out the ones which work with Google and ones which don't work with Google, and you can see it's also been finding working and non-working proxies. So you can see in the column here in the past websites, it shows you proxies that can be used in Google and proxies that can't be. Now obviously the ones that can't be used in Google aren't useless by any means, because the anonymous and the elite ones can still be used for posting. So it's important that we don't just get rid of all of them, because nearly all of the proxies have a use, whether it's actually using them for searching to find more proxies, or whether it's to use in tools like No Hands SEO or whatever. So now I'm gonna stop it there. Yeah, I'm going to stop it there. Then we're going to go into the files to see what proxies we have got from that. Okay, so I just minimize that, and I will get Notepad 3 up. Sorry, Notepad++, Notepad 3. And I'm going to load in. Now notice earlier I said that it was outputting the proxies to the documents folder. It was posting the Google proxies to googleproxies.txt and the posting proxies to postingproxies.txt. I'm going to open the posting proxies file. Now here you can see after just 10 minutes there's 157 working proxies. Now these aren't just working proxies, these are ones that are anonymous or elite, ones that can be used for posting. Okay, and Google proxies 23. Again, this is after just 10 minutes. If it had been running for an hour or more, or left running as it would be if you were actually using it with a tool like No Hands SEO, you would have hundreds or more. Now the good thing is you can leave it running in the background, and tools like No Hands SEO, GSR, etc. can be set to just constantly be pulling these proxies from the file. So as No Hands Proxies finds a new working proxy, it will be put in there. When it finds an existing proxy has stopped working, it will remove it from that list, and then your posting tool will be able to load the file in and disregard any non-working proxies. Okay, so now you can see with just the click of a single button, with just the click of a single button, you will be able to set No Hands Proxies up to get you exactly the type of proxy you need for whatever purpose. Okay, so the same works for everything else. If I was to just click Get Elite Proxies, it will then just output only the elite proxies to the My Documents folder and the eliteproxies.txt. That's all you need to do. So next time when the next minute goes past, it will output all of the elite proxies along with the Google proxies to the proxies.net .txt file, and the posting proxies to the postingproxies.txt file. It will post the elite proxies to eliteproxies.txt. Okay, it is that simple. All you need to do for any of these uses is just click that button once. Nothing else is necessary. Okay, so I'll quickly wait for that file to be output and then show you that. There we go. So in here, I'll get Notepad up again. See, it knows that it's been updated. So where we've got elite proxies, you can see out of that list 100 of them 100 of them are elite proxies. So if all you want is elite proxies, there you go. So all you need to do is hit elite proxies if that's what you want. But as I said, all you need to do for any of these programs is just hit that button and boom, it's all done for you. You never need to worry about any of these other settings. They're all optional and should only ever be used if you know that you need them. Okay, so I'm going to end it there. It's been much longer than I was expecting, but I feel that for some users it's important to really drive home the fact that you don't need to touch the other settings. If all you want to do is use these proxies with any of these tools, just hit that button once. Just once. Hitting that button once will get you the exact proxies you need out to the files that you need them for use in those programs. Okay, so I'm going to end it there. My name's Jim, I'm from No Hands Proxies, and I hope this has been useful. If you're interested in the software, you can get it from nohandsproxies.com. It's a one-time only fee. You never have to pay a monthly fee, you never have to pay for any updates. We're constantly updating and improving the software, and finding new ways to make things easier for the user. If you have any questions, you can either leave them in the comments below or get in touch via support at nohandsseo.com or support@nohandsproxies.com. They all go through to the same place. Yeah, there's also a support forum at nohandsseo.com/forum. You can read different guides and views and things like that on that forum, or you can ask questions or feature requests, anything like that. We're always happy to hear from you. So yeah, I hope this has been useful, and I hope to hear from you soon. Okay, thank you, bye.